The computer is only a replica of your mind. And just like a computer, your mind holds memory, stores data, and has information in it. But the computer is only a replica of your mind, meaning the mind is much more powerful than a computer. But just like a computer has to be programmed, the mind has to be programmed or reprogrammed sometimes. And the reason being because it could have the wrong programming that's not helpful, that's more detrimental to the being or the person that is holding those thoughts in their head. Now, just like a computer, if a computer isn't programmed, it still comes on. If you plug it in, turn it on, but it's going to be little or no activity on the computer because it has no program. The same thing goes for your mind. Your mind has to be programmed. When the mind is not programmed, there is no activity. The problem being is, whether we know it or not, all of our minds have been programmed. If you've gone through 12 years of school, guess what? Your mind was programmed. They didn't educate you. You thought they educated you, but they really programmed you. So, let me get into it. Neuroscientists is actually saying that you spend 95% of your day in your subconscious mind. What does that mean? The subconscious mind is where you get your habits from. It's the habitual mind. So there are things that may be stored in your subconscious mind that are affecting you and you don't even know it. Let me give you an example of the habitual mind. Because a lot of times during the day, whether you know it or not, you're actually on autopilot. You're not thinking about what you're doing. You've done this 100 different activities hundreds of times. You might have had the same job for 10, 15, 30 years. You're doing the same things on a job. New things pop up here and there. But for the most part, it's the same thing. Years go by. Holidays, same ones go by every year. And the years go by faster and faster and faster due to the programming. Now, an example of the habitual mind. Now, most of us got our driver's license, in our teenage years. When we first got our driver's license, we were very mindful because it was a new activity. We was very mindful of what we were doing. If we were turning the car right, if we was parking it right, we were very mindful because it was a new activity. It was a new program that we stored in our mind. But 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, now it's a habit. Now you don't even think about it. You jump in the car. Sometimes you don't even put your seatbelt on. You're not being mindful sometimes. You're thinking about where you have to go and your destination and what time you have to be there. But you're not thinking about driving. It's a habit now. And since it's a habit, you don't think about it. That's where you get a term called highway hypnosis. See, hypnosis is actually, and I hate the word hypnosis, but it's actually a natural phenomenon. You can be driving on the highway and forget about 2 or 3 blocks. Forget about 2 or 3 signs on the highway. Forget about, where you are, but you'll get to your destination. They call that highway hypnosis, where you're thinking about things in your mind because you don't have to think about driving anymore. So a lot of times during the day, because remember they said 95% of your day you spend in your subconscious mind. A lot of times during the day, you're on autopilot. You're just doing what you did the day before and the day before and the day before, and you're not even thinking about it because you're spending most of your time in your mind, which is the past, and you're thinking about what you want to achieve in the future. And only 5% of your day you spend consciously in the now, what we call it, being mindful of everything around you. Now it's become a habit. Now, what neuroscientists is saying is that for the first 6 years of a child's life, they're in a state of hypnosis. Now, before you're like, oh, what is he talking about? They're in a state of hypnosis. Now, what they're saying is from 0 to 2 years old, a child is dealing with delta brain waves. Delta brain waves, when a person puts an EEG machine to you and they trying to, you go somewhere to a medical office, they put the EEG machine on you, they are calculating the electromagnetic hertz and the currents of your brain and how fast your brain is traveling and active. So you got your beta state, your alpha state, your theta state, but your delta state is the state of sleep. Now they're saying a child during that time of 0 to 2, to your terrible twos as we call it, from 0 to 2, a child is naturally in the delta state, pardon me. And from 2 to 6 years old, the child is in the theta state. Now the theta state is what I get people to go to when I induce a trance on them. Because you start off, when you're conscious, you start off in your beta, you move from beta to light relaxation, which is alpha, and deep relaxation, which is theta. When you're deeply relaxed and your conscious mind has been taken out of the picture, that's when your mind is programmed. A lot of us are programmed from things that hurt us from our childhood and we don't even know it. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you was from the age of 2 to 6 and you're going to the store. All kids want something from the store. I don't care if you go to Home Depot, they're going to want something out of there, right? Let's say the parent or the mother, let's say, tells the child, once they ask them for something in the store, you don't deserve that. What your subconscious mind does, it records everything from the time period of 2 to 6 years old. Records everything and doesn't forget it. So there could be things that are affecting you from your childhood that you have no idea what it is. The reason being, of course, you was young, but your mind was in a theta state. Now, the theta state is the super learning state. That's why you're able to record everything. That's why when I'm doing a hypnotherapy session, I want a person to go to the theta state because that's the state of mind where super learning occurs. That's where you can be reprogrammed. But let's say back to the example from the store. Your mother told you, well, you don't deserve that. You could be 30, 35, 40 years old, basically an adult. And your subconscious mind, sub meaning under your conscious mind, your subconscious mind could be playing over and over again, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Why is it doing that? Because that's how the subconscious mind works. It really doesn't forget anything. So when it's time for you to get a promotion on your job, what is your subconscious mind could be saying? You don't deserve that. This is where the self-sabotage comes from. The negative self-talk. You could be about to get into a new relationship, get a new car. New things and great things could be happening to you, but your mind will say, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. And guess what? Because your mind is programmed to say you don't deserve that, then you will act on that suggestion that your subconscious mind is giving you. This is the reason why you have to be reprogrammed. Just like that computer. It'll turn on. But is it going to be working at its optimal level? The mind has to be programmed. If you don't program your mind, someone else will. Trust me. So it's better for you to pick and choose what programs you're going to play over and over in your subconscious mind. This is the reason why a lot of people come and get hypnotherapy or hypno sessions. Why? Because they want to reprogram something that's been stored in their mind that's causing a virus in their mind. It's giving them self-doubt. It's giving them fear. It's not helping them reach their goals. Because in the back of their mind, without them even knowing it, their mind is saying, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. The subconscious mind during the ages of 2 and 6 is heavily influenced by its environment, by its energy. Because a child during that age does not know the difference between good and bad necessarily. It has to be taught those things. It doesn't know the difference between when it hears its parents arguing. It just feels the energy. Might not know what the parents are saying or exactly what they mean by what they're saying. But the subconscious mind, remember, records everything from the ages from 2 to 6. Even in psychology, they tell you that you're going to be the person that you're going to be personality-wise by the age of what? 7 years old. It's a reason why they're saying that. And basically, neuroscience is agreeing with them. This is the reason why the subconscious mind has to be programmed. If you ever watch television, guess what? You was programmed. If you went through 12 years of school, guess what? You was programmed. Trust me. A lot of people talk about mind control, but the first one, or the first person to control your mind is your family. The first teacher of the child is what? The mother. So if your parents are living off of their program and they teach you that program, whether it be the diet you eat or the thoughts that you keep, then guess what? You're going to be dealing with those same programs. So, to wrap it up, because I went a little too long than expected, this is the reason why the subconscious mind has to be programmed. Because a lot of times we don't even know it. We picked up on things in our childhood that are affecting us even to this day. That's causing the self-talk. It's causing the self-sabotage. And even when you're close to reaching your goals, sometimes you can say, I don't deserve that, and stop yourself from reaching your goals. On that note, I'll say peace.